Hey, and welcome to Sound Check by Support Act. This is Luke once again. And today we are joined again by Ash King from the Indigo Project. Thanks for joining us, Ash.
Thanks for having me back.
How are we going in week 3 of isolation?
Oh, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride, and I think every morning has its own joys and challenges. But I think I'm just trying to push through day by day and keep sort of a little slice of hope somewhere deep within that life will regain a sense of normalcy eventually.
Any music-related projects on the go in your house? Like maybe any band-related jigsaw puzzles?
Well, look, uh, I have a deep, deep love of the Beatles, as does my husband. And so recently we binge watched the latest series of Ozark while putting together a Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band jigsaw puzzle. It was like I think a 250-piece puzzle, and it was really hard. But I got really frustrated and grumpy and fed up, and that's probably why I'm not a very good musician. I think I have the same work and practice ethic as that. I'm trying to learn the piano at the moment too, because that's always been, one of my bucket lists. Like, I'd love to be the sort of person who plays the piano. So have started practicing that, and I just get like a little stormy tantrum baby, and I'm just like, this is terrible.
And what a mix of joy of dread doing a jigsaw puzzle whilst watching Ozark at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Just like keeps the suspense up here the whole time you're looking for pieces.
Well, thanks again for joining us. We had a fantastic conversation about mental health and where we were at that time a couple of weeks ago. What did you have in store for us today, Ash?
Well, I thought that we could have a little bit more of a chat around some techniques that you could use to manage anxiety, particularly if things like sort of deep breathing just isn't cutting it. Like, there's lots of information coming out, which is amazing. Lots of people, giving you a step-by-step guide with how to deal with your emotions and deal with your thoughts during this time. But I thought that I could clue you into a couple of little hacks that have been helping me lately, and we could also have a little bash at a bit of a guided meditation.
I'm very much up for that. And before we proceed, I just want to make sure that everybody knows about the Support Act Wellbeing Helpline. You can call the helpline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-959-500. It's a helpline specifically for the music industry. So if you're a musician, a crew worker, or somebody who works in the industry, you can call this line and you'll be spoken to by somebody who's got experience of the music industry, as well as being a qualified mental health practitioner. So over to you, Ash.
Over to me. Well, where do you want to start? Shall we do our meditation first, or shall we keep having a chat about anxiety?
Let's start with the chat, and then we can bring ourselves nicely with that guided meditation.
Okay, cool. So I wrote a little article up for the Indigo Project earlier this week because I have been reading a lot of shit on the internet, and I'm sure that so many people are at the moment. It's kind of a place where we feel like we can stay informed and we can stay grounded in the knowledge of what's going on in our city and in our country and in the world around us. But I found that there was so much happening that I was just getting completely overwhelmed and overloaded, and my anxiety was just getting out of control. The more that I spoke to other people about this, the more I realized that, lots of us are all in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put together a sort of list of a couple of tips that I think are helpful when we have to deal with our anxiety in this time. That's kind of not really a very usual, set of circumstances for any of us. And I think first off, it comes with a bit of a realization that this isn't ordinary, like this isn't normal. And I have been speaking to people who feel really angry that they're not, just bouncing back, or, getting a new routine happening, or, producing all this productivity porn and practicing, their craft more than ever, or, being a great, parent homeschooling their kids. And people are getting quite guilty and feeling a lot of shame on top of this sort of genuine struggle and worry and anxiety that they're dealing with. So I think that there's space there for us to just pause and acknowledge, well, this isn't normal. So why should I be just switching, straight back into normal mode? You've got to be quite gentle and sensitive with yourself and recognize that these are weird times and you might be doing weird stuff to be able to cope with it. And that's cool too.
I'm just going to unmute myself. And it's only going to unpack more. I had the dog barking for like loudly for the whole time you were talking, but thankfully he stopped. It's only going to unpack more and more as we spend more time as well. Like I need to be doing something, but also I'm feeling anxious about this whole time, isn't it?
Yeah. And with feelings, and feelings, I think, can be some of the most difficult things that we have to be lumped with as human beings. And a lot of the time we don't spare them a lot of thought, but when they're shit, they're really shit. And all we want is for them to go away. Anyone who's felt grief, who's experienced loss, who's been angry, who's been hurt, disappointed, upset, anxious, we feel these feelings in our body. They're not, just like a happy face emoji or a sad face emoji. They really like resonate through our entire being. And I can definitely relate with the fact that when I'm feeling really anxious and sort of untethered and insecure, all I want to do is almost have a shower to wash the feelings out of me. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. And
a good motivation to actually have a shower, though, because there'll be a lot of people out there who need reasons to have showers right now.
Yeah, imagine if we could have an emotion shower. What an amazing product that would be. I don't know if we would grow and evolve very much as human beings, but I think that there needs to be time as well to acknowledge that you can't just turn off emotions. And as much as we try to find healthy, sustainable techniques to deal with our emotions and allow ourselves to sit with and feel them, we can't really actively do anything to get rid of them. And it's a bit like quicksand. The more that we want to get rid of them, the more they start to, suck us in. So you can't get out through struggle. You just kind of have to sit in it, like sit in the muck.
Yeah, okay. Is there anything else from your recent blog that you think would be relevant to people today?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning, reading so many articles online, consuming heaps of content to do with the COVID crisis, it is important to stay informed, but you also need to just not kid yourself. And I think that this is really easy to do, is that you can lie to yourself and go, oh, I need to read, these 24 New York Times articles about what's going on in New York right now in the hospital, saying, like, you can tell yourself, oh, that you need to do that. But honestly, deep down, that you don't need to do that. And one of the interesting things to consider here as well is that reading and consuming content actually does allow you to feel like you're controlling something or that you're doing something. So you're stimulated, when you're reading or watching a video, you're kind of stimulated by that content. The issue comes with what happens to you after you have consumed all that content. It's kind of like if like you eat like 15 packs of gummy worms and then you go on a roller coaster. Like, you might have been okay when you were eating the gummy worms because you're keeping busy and your taste buds are going off, but then you're on the roller coaster, you're feeling so hot about that idea. So we've kind of all got a roller coaster to go back to now. And those are the moments of stillness and quiet. Often we confront them before we go to bed. Sometimes when we're in the shower, like the moments where we can't get away from ourselves. So those are our personal roller coasters. And you can make it as easy or as difficult as you want by, what you choose to consume in your body and in your mind as the days pass. So by all means, stay informed, but don't kid yourself that staying informed means reading and watching every single piece of COVID, crisis content that pops up on your feed, because it's too much and it's going to be the gummy worms on a roller coaster experience for you. You're not going to be able to sit well with it.
Yeah, okay. So finding peace, I guess, is very important. I mean, finding that stillness of mind. I mean, not everyone's able to do it. So sometimes people need really tangible ways of doing it. I know personally, I'm not someone who meditates very well because I have a busy mind, and particularly in a time like this, I think I run the CPU to the point where I go to bed and I go, bang, okay, I just need to turn off. But it's not the case for everybody. So this guided meditation, is this something that you would recommend to anybody?
Absolutely. And I have to call you up, Luke, as well, on the fact that, and this is what a lot of people who don't meditate say, is they often introduce it, and I'd be guilty of this because that's 100% what I said before I started a regular meditation practice.
Yeah.
I'm not good at meditation. Meditation is not something that you are good or not good at. In fact, meditation doesn't give a shit about your skill level. Meditation is something that we do as an ongoing practice to help create more peace, more stillness, more grounding, and more mindfulness presence in our everyday life. Often it's easy to say that it's something that's not important because you've got other things in your day that need to take up your time. But since I've started a meditation practice and I've researched a lot about regular meditation practice, is that by doing this regularly, you actually expand the time that's available to you in your day because you make space in your head to be able to deal with things more effectively. So this is not something, I mean, obviously any meditation that you do, whenever you do it, is going to be great, but you'll really, really, really see the benefits if you even just have like a 5-minute, little practice to yourself every day. And slowly but surely you'll realize that that gentle presence and expansion that does resonate throughout your day, to your benefit.
All right, brilliant. Well, I'm game for anything. I did yoga sitting in the seat the other day. So I hope the people who are tuning in get something out of this that maybe they've never done before. And this is all positive thoughts, all positive thinking. And, I should probably bring my dog in to meditate as well because it seems to be having some issues outside. So apologies if all you can hear in the background is a dog, but that's just life in isolation, isn't it? So, but I think he's chilled, which is good. Hopefully he's still alive and my wife hasn't taken any drastic measures. So what are we going to do with this guided meditation then, Ash? Let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to start off, we're going to get nice and comfy. So wherever you're at, you're going to either be sitting in a chair, making sure that your back is upright and supported, or if you prefer, you can lie down. So laying down on your couch, on the bed, on the floor, somewhere where you feel like the weight of your body is well supported beneath you. So once you're there, we're going to kick off by just closing down the eyes nice and gently, and allowing yourself just to let go of any sort of present worries and stress, anything that's on your mind straight away, and just relax. So just relax nice and gently into your body. So we're going to start to slow down a little bit. We're going to do that by just drawing our attention to the breath. So just gently noticing as you slowly inhale through your nose. You're going to take a gentle pause in between and then gently exhale through the mouth. So here we're just allowing our breath to deepen slightly, inhaling nice and gently, and pause, and exhaling. And once more, deep breath through the nostrils, and holding, and exhale. And then just slowly and gently allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And from here, we're going to start at the very top of our head. I'm going to do a full body scan. So just imagine a strip of light as it passes from the very top of your head and slowly runs down through your skull and across your forehead. And as this light passes down and through, your body gently dissolves and relaxes as it passes over your eyebrows, your eyelids and your eyes, just feeling that softness, everything becoming gentle and relaxed. Allow it to pass down your ears, your cheeks, down through your nose, through your mouth, checking in to make sure you're not clenching, through your jaw, and through the back of your skull and down through your neck. Now being especially mindful as the light passes down through your shoulders, allowing yourself to just release any tension that's being held there at the base of your neck, the top of your shoulders. And the light passes down through the tops of both arms, through the elbows to the bottoms of your arms, through your wrists, the palms and backs of your hands, and through your fingers. Just feeling everything become soft and gentle, feel it melting. As we come back to the top of the chest and just allowing the light to pass through our ribs, down through our upper back, down through our diaphragm and through our abdomen and lower back. As it reaches our hips, releasing through the hips and buttocks. And just gently allowing that light to reverberate down through the thighs, past the knees, down through the shins and calves, ankles, the tops of the feet, heels, the balls of the feet, and through the toes. Just allowing your whole body now to feel heavy and fully relaxed. Allow any thoughts or feelings to pop into your mind without judgment. Don't need to jump on them and start thinking about things, not just yet. You got the rest of the day for that. Just keep breathing and enjoying this feeling of pure relaxation. And just gently, we're going to wiggle our toes and wiggle our fingers. I want you to squeeze your eyes really tight, squish your face up, and then gently allowing yourself to open the eyes again and return into the room, into the physical space. Welcome back.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I feel very relaxed now.
Staying meditated.
I'm going to have to go and have a sleep.
Yeah, that one's a really good one to do before bed, actually.
Yeah, that's great. And short too. It's amazing what can be achieved in such a short period of time.
Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of different meditation techniques as well. So, you know, if this one doesn't suit you, there's so many different other ones to try, like loving kindness meditation. This was a little bit of a mix between a body scan and a progressive muscle relaxation meditation. You know, there's other ones that allow you to clear your mind a little bit more, but all of them give you the opportunity just to sit in your body and to be present.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Ash King from the Indigo Project.
Thanks for having me, Luke.
Thanks. We'll see you again soon. I'm going to go and have a lie down.
Please do.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.